everyone. This is Justin at Counter Groove Music. So I'm actually recording this video a little bit retrospectively of having recorded this track and put a little bit together here. I'm just going to share with you guys a little bit of the process that I went through in writing this. I wrote it about, maybe an hour ago with like a little break in between. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through a few of the things that came to my mind to kind of put this together and the progression of things. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I did, normally this would be a pretty blank template. If you can imagine that I pretty much just start with this drums layer, which has like an empty drum rack in it. I've got a basic like sub bass, these pad bass chord, they're all the same color. This is actually channel 7 and 8, which is my Korg Triton keyboard. And then this other stuff I didn't really have in the project when I started. I'll show you how we got to that here in just a moment. So the first thing that I ended up doing whenever I started recording was the pad. So actually the first time I was recording this, my audio was not correctly routed through OBS. So I recorded this whole thing and did not capture the audio, which is why we're doing this way. So the pad, I'm going to go ahead and bring the reverb down so you can hear this. I just recorded this loop. It's a 2-part progression. It's a pretty simple kind of progression here. We'll go ahead and listen to it soloed so you can hear it. And of course there was no side chaining on it. Okay, so that's part A. This is part B. Cool. And so then I added a little bit of reverb. All right. So that's essentially what I had to start with. This is like kind of me noodling around on the keyboard, and I found some chords that I liked. And then the very next thing that I did is I started on the drums. Now, one thing I'm a really big proponent of is having a set of samples you go to and sort of like pieces of like a template put together just to kind of make the process of songwriting a little bit easier. So for the drums here, I had an empty drum rack and I had some plugins here that were turned off initially when I was working on this. And so what it sounded like kind of from the beginning, I just put in a 4/4, 4 to the floor kick pattern. And then and the kick, let's see, the kick sounds like this. Go ahead and bring this up just a tad here. All right, there's my kick. Here we go. And it's a little bit longer tail on the sample, so I kind of brought it in so it was a little bit tighter. And then I found this percussion. And I thought that kind of knocking sound would be really good for like a snare drum. And then I found like a hat, and did a little EQ. I'm not even using that one right now. Okay. So that's essentially it. And then we'll go ahead and listen to a loop of this here. Right. So it's just like a 4 to the floor kick. And then I added in the snare here and added a little variation just before the 1. Right, so we got a little groove going, and then I added the hi-hat in and kind of built it up after the first 8 here. Cool. So at this point, I knew that I wanted to have a bass going on, which was also going to come from the Korg. And then I wasn't really sure because, I had the pad, but I knew I wanted some kind of synth layer. But I didn't know how that was going to come in. But I ended up going for like a vocoder voice sound. Okay, so as soon as I finished the bass, I went ahead and added this arpeggio sound in here. And again, I already had the chords up here, so I actually just played the chords in MIDI, and then played around. I pulled up a Poly6 fresh patch, and I found this Velo filter sequence patch, and I really liked the way it sounded. I kind of played with the notes and the cadence here. I'm not sure if I'm even set in stone on it yet, but we'll go ahead and listen. The baked in effects on this patch just sounded great already. I already liked that kind of dotted delay type of sound. So reverb's already baked in. Yeah. Cool. So I got that. And then it was at this point that I actually got interrupted, and I was sort of having some ideas for like a vocoder, because I had made this vocoder patch the other day, and I really wanted to get that down. So when I stepped away, I actually had my phone on me, and I wrote down some lyrics really quickly. And when I got back, this is sort of the process of what I did. So the first thing I did was I actually had this vocal channel like kind of out here as an independent track, and this waves tune isn't really even doing anything. I think it's on chromatic. And so I recorded these vocals here. So let me see if I just go to master. Up in the clouds, I see a vision. So yeah. Familiar face. Pretty monotone vocals here. The sweetest glisten. But I was listening to the track while I recorded these. So anyway, not the greatest performance. But here's what I did. So, all right. That vocal is being sent. If you can see here, I have it channeled to go out to vocoder out here in the sends area, and this channel in is just bringing my vocal in, and so when it goes out of here, it's going into the vocoder on vocoder out channel, because we set it here vocoder out, so it's pointed at this channel. So it comes in. So if you imagine kind of like cables kind of coming in here, and it hits the first plugin, which is the vocoder, and that signal is actually this carrier signal, right? It says external, so we come in here and set the mode to external, and then so that's how your vocal is getting in. And then to actually create the vocoder sound, that is coming from the audio from, and then we set that to synth in, which is this other channel below here, where I have the same chords that I played up here during this part, and it's just a clean saw wave. I can kind of solo it up for you here. Yeah, so it's a saw wave. It sounds like a lot more than it actually is. Not really quite sure what's kind of layered on top of it here, but it's just pretend this is like not really messed with. It's a saw wave on this saw D, which is all the harmonics, and then I brought the filter down to about 8K on a 12 dB slope, and you can kind of see where I have the volume set here. So pretty raw, basic saw kind of sound. And then those two are getting merged together here in the vocoder, okay? And then the only thing that's going on after the vocoder is it's being sent directly through. This is a dry channel, and then this is a channel with chorus. So this is like, I basically had the signal here. I grouped, I made a group of this chorus, and then I came in here and created an extra chain. So you have a dry channel, and then you have a wet channel. And then, of course, the chorus. This is actually the default chorus patch. Sounded great, so I left it. It's on completely wet all the way, and then I just brought a couple dB down. So that's what's kind of going to be spreading out the sound of the vocoder. So let's listen to it soloed here. Oop, we gotta turn our synth off, I believe. Yep. Here we go. Up in the clouds, I see a vision, familiar face, the sweetest glisten. Up in the clouds. All right, now you can see there is an effect here on the group, on the vocoder group. It's just a dry channel grouped again, this Valhalla vintage verb, and I just brought it down to like -17 here. So you got a little bit of reverb behind it. That's it. And so now that I've shown you all the pieces, I'm going to go ahead and let it play out. There probably will be a part 2. There most definitely will be a part 2 of this video. I'm just going to keep on working on the track and building it out. But as it is now, we're going to go ahead and give it a listen, and I will next time be able to show you guys more of the process as it's happening. Again, I was not able to capture the audio when I recorded this the first time, so let's go ahead and have a listen. And there we have it. This is a little WIP work in progress called Distant Voices, subject to change on the name there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will catch you next time.